Our society has countless images, ideas, and stereotypes about change agents, people who help an organization transform by improving business process and interpersonal interactions. Whether influencing fashion, business, art, entertainment, science, politics, or law, these change agents have and continue to positively impact today's society on so many levels. And today, we are proud to share the story of these business owners, coaches, innovators, and thought leaders from various industries who are eager to educate, inspire, and motivate you. This is Our Voices on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to Our Voices, powered by Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm the owner and co-founder of Dressing Room Right, the co-host of Woke and Free, and the lifestyle editor of Plus Model Magazine. And this show is focused on highlighting the amazing work of powerful change agents who have a great message to share with the world. And today, I'm super duper uber excited to be speaking with She Leads Media founder and CEO, Adrienne Garland, about the importance of women-focused media. So who is Adrienne? She's the CEO and founder of She Leads Media, a media and marketing consultancy dedicated to enhancing the visibility and influence of women entrepreneurs and leaders around the world. The mission of She Leads Media is to inspire, educate, and showcase women as the leaders we are through in-person conferences, events, and an online community. Over the course of her career, Adrienne has held strategic marketing and product development strategy leadership positions at prestigious media companies such as Cablevision, DirecTV, SiriusXM, PR Newswire, and PricewaterhouseCoopers, where she spearheaded customer growth, revenue expansion, and digital transformation. Adrienne is a sought-after marketing and business development consultant and deep expert on activating audiences and brands to achieve tangible results for startups and global brands alike. So without further ado, Adrienne, how are you?
Hi, Natasha. I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome, love. I know you, and I'm super excited to have you share your message on Our Voices. And the first question out of the gate is, of course, how did you end up in media?
Wow. So I ended up in media. I started out in the financial world, investment banking and equity research. And I went back to school to get my MBA in finance. And I got pretty deep into that whole world and realized that, nope, it just wasn't for me.
Okay.
So I had taken some marketing courses at NYU. Okay. And I ended up switching my major to marketing. And I was always fascinated with, radio and television and storytelling. Yes. And I really wanted to hone in on media. And about the time that I was going for my MBA, there was a lot of transformation happening. The internet came about. Email started. I remember the CompuServe times and things like that. And I really thought that I wanted to be involved in the whole media, entertainment, and technology space. So I pursued marketing with a concentration in media, entertainment, and technology.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And I sort of, got into that world. And I've been in it ever since about 1998.
Wow. Okay. And yes, I've spoken to you, and I've loved spending time with you. And so, what I'm fascinated about is the fact that you are capitalizing on all of your experience to put together these amazing events, which I know we have one coming up this year for 2018, right? It is She Leads 2018. So tell me, how did you know to go down that route and creating your own conference? And what do people get from attending and will be attending this year?
Yeah. So I had always worked in a corporate setting, and I also always had a very strong entrepreneurial streak. I consider myself somewhat of a rebel, not a radical rebel, but somewhat of a rebel. I always, I'm looking for new ways to do things and how to improve things. And in my corporate career, I wanted to figure out, well, how do I transition from corporate to entrepreneurship? And, I feel like you can read all of the books and talk to people and everything. Yes. And so it was something that I always spoke to friends about, how do I make this transition from corporate to entrepreneurship? And a very good friend of mine that was an event planner said to me quite obviously, well, why don't you just put on an event where you bring in experts that have launched businesses and grown businesses, so that they can literally teach you and guide you on what needs to be done in order to launch a business and the skills that you need and everything that you need. So that's exactly what we did together. And that was an experiment. And we invited friends and other women that wanted to be entrepreneurs as well. And we just got such incredible feedback on the way that we put the conference together. And I think that the conference the first year was so successful because we leveraged all of the relationships that we had to get sponsorships so that we could actually put this thing on.
Smart.
And also all of the expertise in our networks. And we were able to attract really high quality experts giving exceptional practical advice. And that's been something that throughout all of these years that I've really held on to, this idea of providing this super practical, actionable advice. Because I think you can go other places to other conferences and get inspiration. But when you come to a She Leads conference, you get what you need. You take away tips, tools that you can implement immediately in order to do what it is that you want to do.
I love that. Absolutely. And when it comes to the woman narrative as an entrepreneur and someone who is kind of diverting and kind of being a bit of a rebel, what, I guess, would you say practically has been most important for you in this journey?
Yeah. And, you know, I think the conference is also such a great way to bring women together and to also hear from them. So I think the conference started out in a very, you know, personal way. I wanted to hear what I needed to do, and opening that dialogue up to the audience and hearing from them what they needed as well. You know, you really do hear from women that they don't have the same access to networks, financing, even just information and guidance to be successful.
Interesting. And what do you think we as women, anyone listening, need to do? Is it get a coach? Is it get a mentor? Is it to start your own LinkedIn community group? Like, what do we need to do, practically speaking? Someone's like, you know what? She's right. I need help. Oh my goodness gracious. What do we say to her?
Oh my gosh. You know, I do think that it's very individual. People have different, you know, skill sets and comfort levels and things like that. I do think that in-person events and speaking to people is super important. I know that I do a conference, so you know, I'm biased a little bit, but the reason that I think that that's so important is because, you know, I get to meet people like you that have amazing viewpoints, and that maybe as a friend you can offer me access into your network. Men just immediately connect on business all the time, and they say, oh, how can I help you? Let's do business together. Let's do this partnership together. It takes women, I think, a longer amount of time to get there, and we have to connect on maybe something else first. And it's easier to do that when you're kind of, you know, looking into somebody's eyes and you know, feeling like you can trust them.
Interesting. So we have a different way of speaking, vibing with each other. Interesting.
We gotta vibe with each other first.
Okay.
And I do think that there, you know, everything that you mentioned at one time or another, I would say yes. You know, get a coach. Yes. Get a mentor. Yes. Read a book. Yes. Listen to podcasts. You know, I've done it all. And I think you find your way into it, and it can be very overwhelming. And it really does matter to have friends and colleagues that are in the same boat and are on the same journey as you are.
Absolutely.
So that you don't feel isolated.
I love that you said that, because finding like-minded people who challenge you but then also help motivate you to be the best version of yourself. For me personally, I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have those people. And again, it's not a million people, but it's those quality 1 to 5 people that are like, listen, get your life together. Get it together, girl.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, okay, enough. Right, enough.
Exactly.
So when it comes to how you built your network, what were practical things that you did so that you can have that core support system for your own business, your own personal growth?
Yeah. It was almost the reason that I started to build my network was circumstance. So I had worked at Cablevision, which is a Long Island company, for about 7.5 years. And during that time, Cablevision didn't really encourage their people to go out and speak at different events or to get outside of the company and network outside of the company.
Gotcha.
But when I moved to PR Newswire, it was built into their DNA to talk to everybody because you just don't know where business could come from.
Interesting.
So being at PR Newswire really pushed me out of this, bubble that I was in at Cablevision and helped me to connect on so many levels with so many different types of people, agencies, companies, individuals. And so from that point, I started to realize, hey, this is very important to build my network. And those relationships that I've had over, since Cablevision and beyond are still part of my network. Not everybody, but I definitely rely on people that I've built relationships with over the years to, help me do things or answer questions. And I help them as well.
Okay, awesome. You are listening to Our Voices on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Natasha Nurse, and my guest today is She Leads Media founder and CEO Adrienne Garland. So networking, yes. What would you say have been the biggest challenges for you as a person who's growing your business and growing your network? What are things that you had to overcome to be more successful each and every day?
Yeah, I'm still in the midst of,
The struggle is real.
The struggle is right here and right now. I've done so many things to build my network and to expand my business, and some things work and some things don't. So it's been a challenge to kind of identify those things that are going to work. Yeah. Things that worked in corporate do not work in entrepreneurship. Things that worked last year don't, translate to this year. So I think one of the keys to being an entrepreneur is really always having your eyes open and looking around to see what the market is telling you, what your potential clients are telling you. But I know that we laugh about it, but really the struggle is real.
She was like, no, guys, the struggle is real. Let's just circle back there.
Yeah.
Interesting. What about mindset? I think that's always something that people, as an entrepreneur, it can be very isolating, right? Even when you are sharing your experience, it's, you don't have people with you all the time while you're going through it. So what are certain daily practices that you do to say, listen, girl, we've got to get out of the bed. We've got to keep it moving.
Yeah. Mindset. I don't think that we can overemphasize how important mindset is. I just completed the Goldman Sachs Tory Burch 10,000 Small Businesses program, and the first thing that they have us do is they help us to get into a mindset of thinking really big. Okay. So instead of focusing on, what do I need to do tomorrow and kind of like looking down at the tactical things that you need to do, they have you look up into the sky and look at a big dream, because if you're looking there, you're going to get closer to there than if you're looking down at the ground. Yes. So mindset is super important, and I think the thing that you also have to do is have a constant practice of having that positive mindset that you are where you're supposed to be, that even in failures, there's lessons. Yes. And really having that, mental toughness. And it's so difficult. And I do a ton of woo-woo things to get my mind right. And sometimes I think you just gotta... You gotta cry. You gotta let the emotions flow. Right, yeah, let it flow and let it go. I clear myself with sage on some days. I mean, I do it all.
I love it. I love it. You are listening to Our Voices. My name is Natasha Nurse. More with our guest, She Leads Media founder and CEO, Adrienne Garland, next on the Voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC.